Hello, welcome to Chapter 14 of Business Math called Inventory. This is Lesson 14.8 called Carrying Inventory. So this is the last lesson for Chapter 14. If you haven't watched my videos before, I say this in every video. Make sure you're reading through the chapters. Look at the lessons. How are they going through the examples? How are they using the formulas? Pay attention to the terminology. There's just a lot of issues. If you don't go through the chapter and you try to jump straight to the worksheets, it doesn't usually work very well. You're not going to have the background knowledge to complete the worksheet. Make sure, read the couple of pages for the lesson before you jump over here to the worksheet. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this bit up here. This is usually just a quick summary of the lesson. So the cost of keeping a sufficient inventory of goods includes taxes, insurance, storage fees, and handling charges. The annual cost of carrying an inventory is often expressed as a percentage of the inventory value. So annual cost of carrying inventory equals the inventory value times the percent. This one, pretty basic calculations on this one, not too crazy. So we just have to find inventory value and the percent in most of the issues here. We'll take a look at number 5 and number 6 a little closer because those are a little different. But 1 through, I believe, 4 are going to be exactly the same type of calculation. So let's take a look at number 1. The camera shop maintains $120,000 inventory. The cost of keeping the merchandise is 22% of the value of the inventory. What is the annual cost of carrying the inventory? So we have our inventory cost and we have our percentage of the value of the inventory. So we quite literally just say inventory cost times 22%, and that will be the annual cost of carrying the inventory. We're just going to multiply those two together. So same thing for number 2, 3, and 4. What is the cost of the inventory? What is the percentage for carrying that inventory? We're just going to multiply those together. All right, let's go ahead and move down here to number 5. Because this one does look a little bit different here. So Warehouse Food Market establishes the annual cost of carrying its inventory at 25% of the value of the inventory as shown. Find the total percentage, the annual cost of each expense, and the total annual cost if the inventory is valued at $410,000. So with this guy, basically we need to just divide it up or multiply it, in this case, by these pieces. So spoilage, interest, handling, storage fees, transportation, taxes, insurance, they all have their own percentage here of cost. So we're going to take the 410,000. I'm going to just write that in here because I don't have a whole lot of room off to the side. We're just going to multiply by the percentage they give us. And that'll give us the amount that we actually want to put here in the box, right? Make sure you generally have room over here where you can write some notes off to the side, or you can even do it down at the bottom of the paper. You could do it on another sheet of paper and attach it. Definitely show your work on all of these so that we can follow along and help you correct mistakes when they come up. If we don't see any work, we can't help you figure out what went wrong. So that being said, make sure you're filling this out. So you're going to do the same thing. It's 410,000 times each percent. So 410,000 times 5.9% for this one, 3% for the next one, 1.8% for the next one. So not horribly crazy calculations there. Once you get all of these calculated, you're going to add them up, and that'll give you your total. You're also going to add up the percentage column here. So you want a total on both of those. And that is quite literally the whole problem, because this gives you the total annual cost if the inventory is valued. This is the total annual cost, and this is the total percentage is what this one. It just totals it up for you. So, which should match the 25% that they already told us about. So just kind of a clue there. And then also, if you do 25% of 410,000, that should match this number. So you should be able to kind of match it up and check that math. All right, so let's look at the algebra question here. So the Compost Tool Company estimates a cost of $24,000 annually to carry its inventory of materials. The cost consists of 13% for storage, handling, and storage facilities, 10% for interest, and 7 for taxes and insurance. Aiden, stop that, please. What is the value of the campus tool company's inventory? Sorry. Little interruptions. All right, so we have a 24% annual carrying cost. So we already know how much it costs us annually to carry this inventory. And then we have these individual amounts here. I forgot to underline that one. So this one has its storage, handling, and storage facilities, but it's 13% total for that. So what we want to do is figure out what is the value of the inventory right now. Because in the last one, they told us the value of the inventory was 410,000. Now we need to find that value. So a lot of the time, that's what the algebra is all about. It's not necessarily that it's going to be a harder problem. It means that we're not going to be given the pieces and asked for the total. We're going to be given the total, and there's going to be a piece missing. Okay. So in this case, the piece that's missing is the value of the inventory, which we're just going to label with a V. V for value. So just like we did up here, each percentage is multiplied by the value of the inventory. So we're going to have 13% times V plus 10% for the next piece here, 10% times V plus 7%, sorry, an ugly V, 7% times V. So just like we did up here, we have inventory value times 7%, inventory value times 5.9%, inventory value times 3%, and we went all the way down, and then we added those together to have a total annual cost. Well, we already know what our total annual cost is. It's $24,000. We simply add those together, or we just add that to the end. Sorry, that equals. So I'll go ahead and do one last piece here before I let you guys finish this off. So if we add these together, they're all V, meaning they're all like terms. So we can literally add the percentages together. 13 plus 10 plus 7 gets us 30% V. So we just make sure we keep the V on there, and that equals 24,000. So now all we have to do to solve for V is, if this is 30% times V, then I'm going to do the opposite. To solve, I'm going to undo the multiplication by dividing by 30% on each side, and that'll tell me the value of the inventory. So I'm going to let you do that last calculation there to find the value. I hope that helped, and I will see you in chapter 15.